Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Europa Universalis for MEIOU and Taxes 3.0 with me, FireKahuna, and the Ottoman with Devlet-i. So this is the first episode I'm recording after a while. I apologized for the extended break, but many of you probably saw my message that I had issues with my recording software and I had to actually upgrade it to a new version completely because the old one stopped working and I don't know why. Sometimes things break in the world of computers, unfortunately. So it has been a while, but what I remember and what we can see even here on this map is that we have won our war against Hungary. We have won the war and we have taken a lot from them. We've taken provinces that fell to Terra Romanesca. I keep calling them Terra Romanesca, but they're Terra Romanesca. And they're not even Romanesca, they're Romanesca. Terra Romanesca. Jesus Christ. I mean, you know, it's a Latin language most likely, and that's a little bit different from the ones that I speak. Still, they used to have 2 provinces, and now they got 6. So they are much more powerful than no longer a 2-province minor. They're a small vassal power. We've also gained a couple of provinces. I think exactly a couple. Skadar and Opolie? Or did we get them Budva as well? No, they had Budva. We got them Skadar and Opolie to our vassal Serbia, and we forced our enemy to release Vojnovići, who I believe are right now under our protection. Yes, until 1512, which is the time when the truce with Hungary ends. So, and yes, of course, we've also taken a couple of provinces for ourselves. I think Tarnovo, Lovech, and Serdica. I think these 3. We should see them at the... Yes, Lovech, Serdica, Tarnovo, so these 3. So it was a devastating victory for us and a devastating loss for Hungary. The thing that I'm most proud of is, with the exception, I think, of Kosovo, Vignitis, and Priazovia, I think, and Seversky Donetsk, maybe, they didn't manage to pillage any of our provinces, while we have pillaged at least half of Hungary, pretty much all of Transylvania and some of their allies. So we gained an insane amount of gold that just came into our lands. However, we have lost nearly 200,000 people, and that's the big downside. It might not seem like a big downside, but remember that in this game, every single person is an actual citizen of your empire. So if we go ahead and check the total population, we will see how much of a population we have lost. So wait, select individuals, select neighbors, select areas, regions, all state provinces, all owned provinces. Yes, it's all owned provinces. And we can do a census. We will see that we have, our total population is 8,564,345 people. So you can see the number to a single person, and out of this amount, well, actually not out of this amount, but on top of this amount, we would have 180,000 people who were lost in this war. Actually, I think it was like 183,000 if I remember correctly. So it is a sizable chunk. It is at least, what is it, 2%, roughly 2% of our population died in this war. So while we have won a massive victory and we gained quite a lot, we've also lost a lot, and that shouldn't be forgotten. Now, it is much less of an issue than you would face if you had a war like that today due to the higher birth rate in this time, but it still isn't negligible. It's not something that we can just forget about. It's actually a pretty decent amount of people. Now, we have to do a couple of things this episode. Again, because I had an extended break, I'm just gonna have to look a little bit around and realize what's going on. We had a couple of rebels organizing. Our unrest is, well, it's reasonable, but still fairly excessive. Our war exhaustion is Not bad, considering what we went through. It's not bad. We could maybe even provoke these guys. Do we have... We're slightly over the limit of our armies, so I'm just gonna deal with that right now. Get rid of you. And we have to figure out... Well, I have a couple of candidates for what we want to do. First of all, we might want to improve the amenities in our capital. The reason for that is that the amenities limit how many people we can have in our urban population. So right now we have an urban housing of 40,000 and we have a population. Let's look. Yes, we have 56,000 residents plus a couple of burghers, 173. So as you can see, the pressure on the amenities is actually pretty high. It is not the only thing that actually decides what your population is going to be, but we have a pretty big restriction here that's dragging the population down. So one thing that I would like to do is see how much an improvement to the amenities here would cost. Now, would this be in line? No, he's a crafty merchant, so he would probably look after his urban population. So let's see. Let's design a project to improve infrastructure. Amenities to level 3. It would be 90. That doesn't sound right. So what if we upgrade amenities to rank 4? 995. Okay, that sounds a little bit more reasonable. But really just 90? Well, I guess it is possible. And there really is no point to go to level 4 at this point. So let's improve infrastructure, amenities to rank 3. Actually, let me see. Design the project, improve infrastructure, amenities, improve by 1 rank. Yeah, it's 90. That's really cheap. So let's invest that, because that is going to make our population in Constantinople grow quite dramatically. And I actually wanted to see if we have other places where we could do such investment as well. So in Hivendigar, we get a population of 45,000, so that one would definitely be a candidate. I know Konya had a high urban development. That's 41,000 people. Again, amenities too. You got 22, so you're okay. What's up with you? We had a lot in Kaffa, but I don't think there's amenities free, and you can see that the urban population is 88,000. So the pressure on the amenities is actually getting a little bit increased. What about Bursa? Bursa has 45,000 and Edirne is actually amenities 1. 16,000. Okay, so let's look at it this way. If I wanted to improve amenities in Edirne, that should be relatively super cheap, right? Improve infrastructure, amenities, improve by rank 1. It says it would cost us nothing. No province can construct the project. Oh, okay. It's because we have to. Yeah, okay. That then it means gotcha. There is an issue now. So let's try this again. Design the project, improve infrastructure, amenities, improve by 1 rank, prepare to construct, and it will be 130. Okay, I'm okay for that. So Edirne is gonna have its city improved. Then Bursa, as the older capital of our empire, will have it improved in cities as well. So design the project, improve infrastructure, amenities, improve by 1 rank, prepare to construct. 557. Okay, so for Bursa it is one hell of an investment. Not one that I'm actually ready to do now, because we don't know if we want something else first. Okay, what about the other cities? We were discussing Konya, right? Yeah, Konya has 41,000, so that is also a good candidate, but I have a feeling these are tied to the size of the size of the... Yeah, they're linked to the... And I don't have to do it, it calculates it automatically, it seems. So let's make a little bit of a test. If you look at some of our cities, for example, you're a super small province and you have 12,000 residents and no amenities at all. Okay, so for you that should be extremely cheap. Yeah, it's 32. Okay, so let's do that. And I also wanted to look at pathing, because we have pretty good autonomy going, but how are we doing on roads? So we have roads. It's a primitive road network. So we don't have a road network in Tekenda, but we have roads going like this. Very poor ones though. The Balkans aren't really. So Tekerda would definitely be a good candidate for road improvement, just to make everything here a little bit better. And you guys got some roads, that's fine. What we wanted to look at you. Get amenities 1. How are you doing? 18,000, that's okay. And what about here? I think we built a road through Izmit and Eskişehir, didn't we? So Iskidar, Izmit, Eskişehir. Iskidar actually might be another candidate. Yep, Iskidar is going to be a candidate for an improvement in amenities, definitely. And maybe even for a port. So let's invest in that. By the way, I would really love to turn Hagia Sophia into a religious thing, but we are skeptical, so unfortunately we can't really do that right now. That makes no sense why we would do that. I wish we could, but unfortunately we can't. So let's see if we can improve Iskidar a little bit. So 100, sure, that is a good investment. And I think at this point we might be done. 39,000, that is a little bit over, but I like you fund places that are good. Anything in Constantinople we would want to do? You have a really good port here. What's the autonomy like over here? I think we've improved the ports here, didn't we? Yeah, we did. So here we have a small fishing harbor over there. This area is also fine. Konya doesn't have any... No, it does have roads, okay. We wanted to extend the road, and we did, okay. So we extended it south. We also have it in from Nigde. Konya, Eskişehir, Izmit. So actually improving the road in Iskidar and Konya to level 2 would mean that we are connected to our eastern border by a very good road. And might even, well, it might even lower the autonomy in some neighboring territories, but they're mountainous and I don't think that's really worth it. Okay, let's save up the money that we have. Let's save them for a bit. And what I'm gonna do here is we are going to look at the investment manager. We're going to turn it back off. Auto property maintenance, automatic investment is on. And we're going to put all of our provinces in there. Select all owned and shoot the utility decisions and add all selected provinces to it. Okay, so that does it, and now we're gonna look at the utility decision, and I'm going to configure the investment manager. So we have 20% of the treasury every 3 years. I'm gonna go to 25%, but not higher, because I would like to keep as much money in hand as possible in case we need it. So let's unpause the game. Let it run for a bit, and I'm gonna look a little bit around and see what we can do. Okay, Lithuania offers us a royal marriage, which is good. We need an heir. We actually got rid of one that we had. I think it was actually the second one, considering how tanked our prestige is, because they just weren't worth it. And they really were babbling buffoons. I think that the one that we disinherited was so bad and got a bad trait, so it just, here we go. So the gregarious one, the fairest one, or the inquisitive one? Let's go with the inquisitive. Okay, that one is not bad. Let's make him a Bayezid. So Bayezid Osmanli has the same military prowess, a little bit worse diplomatic skill, but is a much better administrator, and he's 10. So hopefully our father, Mehmed III, is going to stay alive a little bit longer. Just a little bit. I mean, you know, he could be much better, but still, it's not going to be that bad. It's not going to be that bad. How are we doing on the diplomacy? Because I feel like, yeah, we have too many diplomatic relations, but just one? Can we reduce it somehow? We have 7 out of 6. Leading vassal state, military alliance room. Okay, that one can't roll marriage alliance. Leading vassal state. Nope, it's all vassal states, so we can't really reduce it. But we are in a really good place. And why I say that is because we are theoretically thinking about getting into a war with Damascus. Or with Ramazan, which would drag into the war a ton. Why would Sirvana join us? Attitude towards enemies. Okay, so if we went against Ramazan, would you guys join? Yes. And that sucks because they got way more allies than just Mamluks. Hang it. I was really hoping that that would be worth it, but it's a division. And Damascus is a rebellious division. Choose a new. Hey. Because if we attack Ramazan, we're gonna drag in a ton of. And we can't even attack Ramazan, we don't have a casus belli. This is a distant war for you, isn't it? Yes. Though, if we remove the war exhaustion, it would be 53 to 54, and if we ask them to prepare for war, they might be willing to join. And you might be willing to join as well. In which case we would dominate the battlefield rather extensively. And it would drag into war pretty much everyone, wouldn't it? Who's allied with you? Because that is the second way we need to expand. We've pretty much crippled our European, or the nearby European threats. Because Hungary is no longer a threat. It is not, and it will not be for a while. So in the meantime, we might want to steal this territory for ourselves. How's the development and value of these areas? Halab is, of course, a pretty good one, and then we're starting to look at some really good targets for pillaging. The strategy would be exactly the same, but it would be much easier in this case. We would just need to keep it away from our territory. So, I mean the war. So we would just put our fleet over here, make sure that it... Oh, speaking of that, our fleet, that's something that we might want to... Oh yeah, that's something that we might want to work at. We got 33 out of 61 potential ships. Jesus Christ, we need to work on that. So let me start building some navy. Ganja. Build a flagship. Nope. So, Constantinople will build me 3. You will all build me 1 each. You can build me 1. You can build me 1. You and you. You and you. Okay, so we're building 15 white ships, and I'm going to build 7 more transport ships, trankies, because believe it or not, those will also be needed if we want to keep this empire together. Okay, so our fleet is basically going to get 50 extra %. So we'll have 55 ships, 45 white ships, and 10 transports. So that was a sizable chunk of our budget, but it's going to be worth it, and I think we can fund it easily, yeah. And offer to trade favors for gold. Sure. You know, you're a very good ally, Lithuania. I really value you. The only thing that I'm sorry about is that I couldn't get you any territory during this war, but I wish I could, and if I could, I would have done so. I wish I could vassalize you, that would be so amazing. If you didn't have subjects of yours, we still couldn't do it. And I'm just gonna, just for, you know, laugh and giggles, I'm just gonna proclaim a guarantee on you. Hungary, you're probably gonna hate me for a while, won't you? Yeah, aggressive expansion. Wow, we have a huge aggressive expansion. So what's my diplomats doing? They're not doing anything, as it turns out, really. They're idle. Siavush Melek is free. And Tefik Bayram is not doing anything either. So send you to neighboring countries, allies, threatening countries. Oh, it's 1st of January. I couldn't have chosen a better date to dispatch my envoys. Really good timing. Really good timing, as it turns out. Okay, that actually worked. So we burned a little bit of power, diplomatic. How are we doing? The commercialization is just... what's the influence? 27. Yeah, that's something that I was considering as well that we need to look into. I hate it, but there might have to be something to do here. I'm not gonna arrange a strategic marriage. Just increases your power. It's not what I want to do. I'm thinking we need to get this thing off the ground. We have a fairly good relation with our estates. We have a really good income. Corruption is actually decent. So if I align with them, it increases state reach, but we need their influence. Now we need to promote them. That's gonna greatly increase their influence for 5 years, yearly. Is there anything that we could do here that would hurt the other nobility? That might give them a little bit more crackdown. That lowers the influence and makes the relations terrible. Wait, no, not curtail. I think what we need to do really is promote them. Okay, 71, 69, and 49. Okay. Why did I not promote them? I think these numbers are lying. They will need to be recalculated. Because that doesn't look right. Nothing changed and we lost some loyalty. State reach. Review the bureaucracy. Reform the administration. What is this one? Guarantee of livable salaries. Expand educational. Okay, so we can actually do some reforms already. Not the one that I wanted, but hey, wait, no, bureaucratic influence is 30. That means we should be able to do the structure now. Why can't... I don't have enough military power. Okay. So 200... So it did help. We got influence and state reach average. This is the one that we need. This is really the one that we need. So I'm just gonna do this here because we need to get enough military power as fast as possible and institute it while we can before we start failing the requirements again. Because the structure is what we will basically stand everything upon. Gustavs, huh? Look at all the ships being built. Isn't it lovely? Manpower is doing good. How fast is the war exhaustion dropping? About 1 point in a quarter? 0.23, yeah. Peace. Because I would really, if we are gonna do this, we will need every help we can get. Because Mamluks are huge. And because of the limited space in which we can fight, it means that all of their armies are going to be concentrated, so we definitely need everyone we can get. And that includes Lithuania. And war exhaustion negativity has dropped by already 10 extra points, so that's pretty good. It's going down really quickly. It is going down really quickly. Believe it or not. And we need to get this territory under our power, because I would really like to finish... is it the Gulf of Cyprus? Yes, Upper Mesopotamia, Syria, Anatolia, the Anatolian Highlands, Levant, sees Egypt. You know, we have ways to go. So it's best if we get on our way as fast as possible and not prolong the suffering for anyone involved. So we're still 10. We're gonna stay alive and healthy. Centralization is maxed. All the corruption is dropping, so it's gonna be definitely below 30. There was a couple of things that we could remove, but most of these are connected to the bureaucracy, like, you know, the bureaucratic politicization. Politicization and the institutional oversight and means of recruitment. Those are things that we can reform once we get the hierarchy running, for which we just need the military power. And we're gonna get our first ships soon, so we're gonna pull them into Constantinople, where our transports ought to be. Actually, you know what, as a preparation for the war, you guys are gonna start drilling. And you guys will start going here. Are you in Constantinople or Üsküdar? That is a good question. Okay, now we have 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, did I get more of them? I think I've built more of them. Is there another? Oh no, there's one. Okay, there's one of you, which we're probably repairing, and I forgot about you. So let me, or let you protect trade in the Levantine Sea. That's a place where we haven't been before. Okay, 96. Okay, now we should be able to institute the organization. If I'm reading that correctly, that is. If I'm not, well then we will do what we can. So, bureaucratic hierarchy. Yes! Awesome! So we can institute a clear bureaucratic hierarchy. An administrative hierarchy is present across the realm, often supplemented where regionally appropriate, yet rudimentary enough to offer a path to progress through the administration's rank. So it lowers global autonomy by 0.05, it increases administration cost by 15%, but it lowers provincial corruption and state corruption by 0.1 each. It costs us quite a lot of diplomatic and administrative and military power, but it also lowers relations between elites and the state, between bureaucrats and the state, and it adds flat out 15 bureaucracy corruption and 15 corruption. God, that's gonna be awful. Yes, 46. Jesus Christ. My God, what have we done? That is going to... Well, thank God we have the money, because this is gonna eat up our income like there's no tomorrow. Trust me. Unfortunately, that's how we have to do it, though. France has denounced us and announced that we are their rival. Okay. Well, if you think that is smart, then I will support that. Have we by any chance finished the amenities? We haven't. Okay. Uncontested claims that will expire. Beiburt. Oh, I remember. That was that, unfortunate plan that we had. Typhus plague in East Asia. Okay, it's 1st of January now. Everything will recalculate so we can just check what's going on. Faction takeover. Bureaucratic. Okay. Why not? Until now we had the aristocrats rule, but now it is bureaucracy that's gonna rule us. Oh no, then the aristocratic took back. Either way, huge issue with that, but we could now start increasing the bureaucracy. We could make it, what is it? Tax officials to tax service, direct taxation, which would give us, wow, more tax and more indirect tax as well. And I think we could start removing some of these issues like civil examination, institutional oversight, bureaucratic politicization is really making me mad. Let's just look at you, by the way. What do you need? Reform bureaucratic hierarchy, advanced hierarchy. You will need 80 states to reach average. But our influence is now enough. Another global autonomy reduction, provincial corruption, and state corruption. I actually don't know if we're gonna help with corruption at this point. Because one, it's dropping. We could make the courage subordinate again, but that would literally screw us over everywhere. But the tax officials would be pretty good. Charter tax taxation. You get more tax. And that is always good. Anyway, that's all for this episode. I'm gonna record one more, and I think that we're gonna start planning a little bit more about this war, because we're getting really close to being able to do it. So we might end up the next episode by declaring the war, which would be pretty good. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Anyway, thank you very much. See you in the next one.